Chris Sims, let's get right into it. Epic finish last night, NFC Championship game. Seahawks, they move on. We know the teams. I mean, can we say now that they're winning because of Sam Darnold instead of in spite of?
Well, definitely. I mean, I know I've been at that point for a while, right? They're not managing the football game to hide Sam Darnold. What's different about Sam Darnold and maybe this Seattle Seahawks football team is they're a complete football team. I heard you talking about it a few minutes ago. Yes, out of all the teams in the Final Four, I think their roster probably is the most complete and most impressive of all. But they play a team football game a lot like the Patriots do. It's not about, the quarterback, like we're Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, and we just do everything through that. I think this is why one of the reasons you're seeing Sam Darnold have such a good year is the fact of, compared to Minnesota, where their defense was good, but not one of the best in football. They didn't run the ball. He was expected, really, in Minnesota, hey, throw to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. We expect you to throw for 300 yards every game. He's with a team now that can win a bunch of different ways, just like New England. They can play defense. They can run the ball. Their special teams can make plays. And now we're at a night in the NFC Championship game where the Rams are really trying to stop the run, and they're going, we don't think Sam Darnold can beat us. And, of course, he delivered. So I think all of that helps in the moment, and his experience playing and, of course, being on a good football team that knows how to win has all helped him out for sure.
I was super impressed with, that pass rush, no joke. The pressure, no joke. And that's somewhere where I think it's fair to question him in the past, like struggling against that. Is that the biggest improvement you've seen with him? Or like what is the most how has he been able to deal with that pressure?
I think the biggest thing is within playing, he knows what's realistic as far as, can I get this ball off before the pressure gets there? Should I throw this away? Should I take the sack, right? Those are little things that go into quarterbacking, especially in playoff type of football. His movement in the pocket, as you're watching here, yes, incredible. He sometimes in the past could be a guy that gets stuck on the first read and doesn't get off of that. You don't see that happen much in Seattle anymore. You saw it the first time he played the Rams this year when he threw 4 interceptions in LA. He was kind of in a bad moment there. But like you talked about, the pressure yesterday, all 3 touchdown passes, he had people in his face and had to deliver. They answered in every moment they had to answer. That to me was the other big thing. 13-10, you kind of were controlling the first half, and now the Rams in the second quarter have kind of taken control of the game, and you make the big throw down the middle to Jackson Smith-Njigba, and then follow that up with the touchdown. And then you have a moment there in the third quarter where, because of the muff punt by the Rams, you go, ooh, can they score and really take advantage of this and put the Rams in a tough spot? Or is it going to be like we've seen so many teams do, where they don't score the touchdown, they kick a field goal, and the team that made the big mistake is like, ooh, man, we're still alive. We're still okay. But boom, he throws the touchdown pass right down the middle. Then they answer back, right, and make it a one-score game again at 24-20, and they answer and go right down the football field once again. So I thought those were really big moments. He played awesome football. I'm so happy for Sam Darnold because, one, I do get sick of the, if you don't have a superstar quarterback, you can't win the game. You can't win a Super Bowl. And it's just not true. It's not true. If that was the case, Phil Simms would have never beat John Elway in a Super Bowl, right? So there you go.
We love a family shots fired situation. Yes, we love to see that.
I just use my dad sometimes as those because I just want people to realize it's not bias, it's football. And yes, my dad is the man and awesome in a lot of ways. But when I sit here and tell you if Dan Marino was on the Giants back in the 80s, do I think they would have won a Super Bowl? Yeah.
Chris,
we play too much into that. You need a team.
Your dad is absolutely hilarious. Do you know that?
He's the man. Right.
When he comes on my show, it is like the easiest, I'm just like, and he wants to just yell at everyone. He does. He's so hilarious. He's truly one of my favorite guests. Okay, so we're saying, but hold on. So we're saying that Sam isn't a superstar quarterback. He's not. Where is he? If he, I do think his narrative has been rewritten. We are Super Bowl Sam. We are no longer can't win the big game, even if they lose the Super Bowl. I still think he's big game. He's sort of exercised this thing, which is so freaking hard to do.
Exactly.
But then what do we do with him?
Well, I mean, I'm not ready to sit here and tell you he's one of the 5 or 6 best quarterbacks in football. We still got a 5 or 6 that are damn good, right?
Is he better than Jalen, Chris? Well,
we got some. Is he better than Jalen Hurts? Well, yeah, he can run a drop back pass offense better than Jalen Hurts. That's not even a question, honestly. Yes. So I know you're trying to instigate more hate for me on social media.
I just wonder where.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to get ahead of. That's not true. I'm trying to get ahead of the narrative. Like, where do we in the hierarchy of quarterbacks?
I think like where he is, and here's the crazy thing to give you some perspective. Okay. I think that I know a lot of people in the NFL, right? I'm friends with a lot of big time coaches and GMs. They even like into the playoffs, right? I mean, these are people that are well respected brains of the NFL. Everybody was still questioning Sam Darnold. Everybody, right? Like, I like Sam. He's got good skills, but, he has been shaky in some big moments in the past, right? And done some things where you're like, wait, you're too good to do that. How did that happen, right? So I think that was out there. That was real. It's not just the fans or talking heads like you and me. It's a thought within the NFL. So I would say if you had to just, let's say, blind, is he getting towards top 10-ish? Category? Yeah, maybe he's in the top half of the NFL. I certainly would give him that, no doubt about that. But we do have some big time quarterbacks right now in the league,
and it depends on what he looks like in this other huge game, I think. And I do think I don't have questions about Sam, but do I think like Christian Gonzalez could like pick him off? I do. Like I think.
Well,
do I think
I
he'll
heard
give him
you
a
talking.
Chance or two? Probably.
Right. And I heard you talking like, you don't like these defensive football games. Well, get ready because Super Bowl 60 might be one of those games,
really?
right? Well, I mean, would I be shocked if we were sitting there in the fourth quarter and it was 17-13 with Mike Vrabel and Mike McDonald as the head coaches, right? Absolutely not. They're comfortable in playing, defense, manage the football game, right? Every little thing you do matters. That's the one thing I'll say that I do like about the defensive games is that decisions really matter. Like you saw with Sean Payton yesterday. He lost the game with a horrible decision in the second quarter, right? That period. There's no other way to say it.
That.
So that's where, that's where I do like that. But yes, I think this is going to be a lot of good defensive players on the field. The Patriots have a really good D-line. You said it. They got Christian Gonzalez, Marcus Jones, their nickel back is one of the best nickels in football. Right. So, and the same on the other side. The Patriots have been a little shaky on offense, and I know we'll talk about that game, but the Seahawks got a lot of big-time players. Don't think about what you saw with the Rams do to the Seahawks. The Rams match up with the Seahawks. They understand them. They have some advantages as far as that matchup's concerned. But, yeah, I would not be shocked if we were in a defensive, tough, physical game in Super Bowl 60.
Oh, I hate to hear that. However, is there a weakness to this team? I feel like the numbers are crazy, so dominant, historically so on this run with Seattle. Outside of maybe like what I just said, like, don't you think Sam might give him a couple shots to make a defensive play? But you can say the same thing on the other side.
Right.
What's the weak? What do I need to be thinking about going into this game, Chris?
I think the weakness or that the Seahawks, because they didn't run the ball great last night, but they have run the ball really well at the end of the season and the last part of the season. And yesterday the Rams played, I think, some defenses where they were like, we're not going to let you run the ball. We don't really believe Sam Darnold is going to consistently play good the whole game and beat us, right? I think that's the angle the Rams played. I think that will be tough to do in this one. But if you ask me one weakness that I do think has to get delved into here in the next 2 weeks, it can't just be Jackson Smith-Njigba in the pass game. Right? There's got to be somebody else. You're crazy if you think Mike Vrabel, school of Bill Belichick, is going to go into the Super Bowl with 2 weeks of preparation and a corner like you're talking about in Christian Gonzalez and go, we're just going to like treat Jackson Smith-Njigba like he's somebody, like just nobody, right? No big deal. They have to find, and this is to me where they're dropping the ball, they need to find ways to get Rashid Shaheed the ball more as a receiver.
So fast.
They don't play, right? So that's the one area I look at that they certainly can improve here in the next 2 weeks.
Chris Stafford looked so good. I tried just give it let's not forget how good everybody the MVP on this field yesterday.
I mean, he's awesome. Matthew Stafford deserves more credit as being an all-time great quarterback, let alone just a really awesome quarterback right now. It's an all-time arm. If he wasn't stuck in that crappy situation, like we saw Sam Darnold get stuck in some crappy situations in his career, look where he is now. He was in one of the crappiest in Detroit. and he was the reason they would almost get in the playoffs or just barely miss the playoffs, I would go, yeah, they're 8-8 and miss the playoffs. And people go, oh, Matthew Stafford can't win the game. And I'm going, they're a 4-12 football team if they don't have Matthew Stafford. He's the reason we're even talking about it. He's a special football player. He's still playing awesome football. I expect him to win the MVP in a few weeks. He played great last night, certainly.
Think he's done?
But yeah, I don't think, like, if I'm him, I'm going, what? Like,
Agree.
I'm playing awesome. I might, right? Right? I mean, I won the MVP. We got all this young talent on the team. My coach is awesome. We got all these draft picks coming up in the draft this year to improve the team. Like, the Rams are set up to be at the top of the NFC here for the next 4 or 5 years. I wouldn't retire with that kind of formula.
Tom Brady was calling the game for Fox. Clint Kubiak getting a gig. Is he yanking him? That's a big, cute little storyline, but I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming regardless. So whether it happens here in this coaching cycle, I don't know for sure. But another guy from that Shanahan coaching tree, and we know everybody's looking for offensive geniuses in the NFL right now. There's not enough to go around. This would be a year in a coaching cycle where I'd go, there is no Ben Johnson or Liam Cohn in this one, right? So a little different. That's why everybody was all in on trying to get Harbaugh and do that. But Clint Kubiak, really good play caller. You could see the Seahawks are tougher. Sam Darnold's coached well. He's got answers in the pocket, checks at the line of scrimmage, all of that, right? But, I mean, in my heart of hearts, would I like to see Clint Kubiak call plays one more year before he's a head coach? Because I do like him and root for him. Yeah, I would like to see that. But we know people are impatient and they want those guys.
Let's talk about, you want to get to the AFC? Let's do it. Missed 4th and 1 by the Broncos, early second quarter, obviously a huge turning point. What'd you make of that?
The worst decision of the weekend. There's no other way to really say it. I mean, you're in a defensive struggle football game. Bad weather is on its way. You're playing the Patriots and Mike Vrabel, and their defensive line's been dominating the game anyways to that point. So, you're not going to run the ball. So, one, I don't like the decision because go up 10-0. Put all the pressure on the Patriots and Drake Maye, where the offense has been a little shaky through the playoffs. You said it before. I heard you. The crowd is crazy loud. Crazy. You got one of the best defenses in football. So that's why I say go up 10-0. And then on top of that, Kay, I don't like the call. The call itself is like everybody puts that play in their offense like the second week of training camp. If you and I sat down on a Sunday and watched football together, I'd show you every game somebody runs this play right here, right? This is a staple. So it's fake 15 BIM, naked right, halfback slide. That's what it is in the old West Coast offense. It's exactly how Sean Payton called it yesterday into Jarrett Stidham's ear. But that's not going to trick a guy like Mike Vrabel and the defense and the Patriots as smart as they are. So, one, I hated the decision. Two, I hated the play. And, yeah, you can't. I always say you can't win the game with that type of decision right there, but you can lose it, and that's exactly what happened in that one there.
But almost every team goes for it in that situation, right?
Well, almost every, but this is where we've lost our mind in the NFL. I mean, I could sit here and go, the Bears almost lost the wild card game because they didn't kick field goals. Okay. The Bears might have lost the divisional game because they didn't kick field goals. We saw the Broncos yesterday. We've seen a number of teams do this, and I just don't agree. You got to read the landscape of the game and know that, hey, wait, my defense is really good. Their offense has been shaky all playoffs. Let's put the pressure on them. I got a backup quarterback here. If you told me before the game you would be up 10-0 in the second quarter, you would take that. But yet then it gets into the emotions of the moment and you go for it. I think between that right there and then, of course, the other self-inflicted wound of the fumble lateral pass by Jarrett Stidham, that's where the Broncos are going to be sick today. They're going to go, man, we kind of outplayed the Patriots. And for a backup quarterback, we had the game where we wanted, and yet we made self-inflicted decisions and plays that ended up losing the football game for them. And then, of course, the Patriots made some big plays down the stretch to put it away.
Bo Nix plays, they win?
It's a different football game. That's for sure, right? I think that in the first half, I was shocked in the early part of the football game how conservative both offenses were, right? I mean, it's Drake Maye. He might win the MVP. And I think the Patriots, came out and they were like, hey, let's not let Denver's defense win the football game. Let's be careful, right? Let's not let them get a strip sack or an interception and jumpstart it that way. I think they also looked at it like, hey, it is Jarrett Stidham. He's going to be a little shaky and rusty early. So let's not do anything crazy that way. But within that, I don't think they ever got Drake Maye into rhythm. And I think also they were probably a little concerned and playing it smart, going, wait, Drake May's not played his best here in the playoffs. He hasn't been at his best. Let's not just throw him into the fire right away to start the game in this kind of environment, right? So I was surprised by that, but the Patriots know what they're doing. And it was a Vrabel type of game, right? When you were sitting there in the third quarter and it was snowy and it was defense, you're like, this feels like more of a Vrabel game than a Sean Payton game, right? And that's where I kind of just kept thinking of that as the game went on.
Yeah, and then the Drake Maye discourse, my friend, online right now is
yeah, is it? I heard you say that. You know, I don't look at online. You mean Joey in the basement's mad at Drake Maye's performance right now?
User 937642 is just like, Drake Maye's not good. He's riding his defense. Their schedule was easy. No big deal. And I guess my argument to that is like, and it's a lot of Bills fans, because like this is truly, and I'm trying to sympathize with the hellscape that they're living in.
Right.
Because this was, and I said this in November, you guys are too flaky for me right now. You better win the Super Bowl without these amazing quarterbacks like Joe Burrow and Mahomes before this became a sexy thought. And don't you dare let the Patriots go to the Super Bowl. You will be crying for, and now they're living in this hellscape. And that's happening. Yeah. But the idea that he's not, I mean, let's just start with this. Like the Drake Maye game-stealing run. He calls his own number. You're rolling your eyes. I'm like, he didn't even tell his teammates, Chris, he was going to keep it on the naked bootleg. How psychotic is this?
That's awesome. I mean, you're right. His legs were the biggest thing in the football game, right? And this play right here, I guarantee Josh McDaniels got in his ear and said, blah, 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 running play. And don't tell anybody, keep it around the edge, right? I bet you he told him, if you get this defense, you keep it, right? But the quarterback draw, that was a big-time play, right? Some of these scrambles right here, I heard you talking about it, the scramble before the half, at least to give them the opportunity to kick the field goal. I know they missed it, but still, that was a big-time play. And, you know, the other big play, and let me just say, I'm, like, so happy for Josh McDaniels. I was in Denver with him when he was the head coach, right? And, you know, some things happened there that weren't his doing that led to his demise. And you could say what you want about him as a head coach. He's one of the best offense coordinators in football, really in the history of football, especially the last 25 years. He's been incredible that way. But the other one that I want to say that's amazing, not only probably telling Drake Maye to keep the ball around the edge, the flea flicker in the third quarter. Not that it led to points. It didn't matter. It was a defensive field position game. To call that play, right? New England, as you know, has always had this propensity, even when they were awesome with Brady in the prime, they weren't afraid to call trick plays in a big moment. And that was Josh McDaniels calling those plays. That to me was big too.
Great
just
throw.
Because it flipped the field position, and it was a great throw. He's not playing his best football right now. There's no denying that, but he's still playing good. And like you said a minute ago, the Chargers D is real. The Houston Texans D is as good as any defense I've ever seen in my life, just to say that. It's as good as any ever. So, yes. And then yesterday, they had no slouches out in Denver as well. So I don't know what people expected, that they thought he was just going to go for 350 and 4 touchdowns.
It's complicated. I think it's complicated because people are so upset about, I guess, Josh and people. But, you know, you look at Patrick's 2 Super Bowls after Tyreek, his numbers. He has in like 10 playoff games, 2 300-yard games.
Well,
like, it's about managing the game. You're so funny.
It's about winning.
You're giving Phil right now.
Well, this is what I want to say. Like all this, like, because if you're saying, like, I believe you with the Bills fans, I just want to go, Bills fans. Upset. Your team's got to get better. Look at, these are teams. You're Josh Allen with a few players. You're not a team.
Oh, see, I couldn't disagree with you there. But yeah.
I couldn't disagree with them firing. Okay, what I would say to you is, who on their defense is any offense ever have to game plan to worry about.
I don't know. So
Never.
Yet somehow they still have the #1 pass defense.
Because Sean McDermott's awesome, and yet he got fired with a bunch of guys that I go, don't even measure with some of the teams you're mentioning. If we mentioned the Chiefs teams that have gone to the Super Bowls, the Eagles teams that have gone to the Super Bowls, the Rams when they win.
The Brandon Grahams, the Cooper DeJean, who's that guy that's going to make a play? I got you.
Exactly. Jalen Carter. I mean, it's 2-star receivers on the outside. It's the best running back in football there. It's an all-star team. My point is Buffalo is not in the class of what people are trying. It's a real good team. Don't get me wrong. But look at the last 7 years. Lack of all pros. Who on the offense other than Stephon Diggs have we had to worry about in the last 7 years?
I don't know why you got rid of Stephon Diggs and you got rid of Hollins, and here they are thriving, playing in Super Bowl 60. Sounds like they're talented.
Right. Well, they're good players, right? But again, they're not like Stephon Diggs is not at a point of his career where he's a superstar anymore, right? I mean, he's a really good player.
I'll bet you right now that Super Bowl 60. There's going to be some Stephon Diggs moment. It's what he's made for.
Oh, I don't doubt that. He loves the big lights and the big moments.
We're going to have some mini miracle-esque. That will happen. No, I have no doubt in my mind about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guys step up in the playoffs. I'm looking like Josh Williams. Snead went down. He made a play. He did his thing for the Chiefs. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it can't always be about the quarterback. That's what I'm arguing. With Buffalo, if Josh Allen doesn't do it, they can't get it done. And I'm going to go.
I don't know. Josh Allen just didn't turn the ball over. They win that game with the talent they have.
He had a bad game.
You can't have bad games in the playoffs like that. I'm so over this idea.
For a amount of playoff games without turnovers, okay? When it's all on him all the time, it's just hard to deliver. He didn't play good in that game.
The rest of the team did against Denver.
He messed up some situations, certainly. Yeah. But again, they play through him because they need him to save the show. They don't have a #1 receiver. They don't have a #2 receiver in Buffalo. They have a bunch of 3s and 4s, and we think they're supposed to be in the Super Bowl. And that's where I go, it's not fair to Josh Allen. His team doesn't measure up to New England or Seattle or the Rams. Not even close, in my opinion. And that's where I think it's, to your point about team and just win the game and do that, you're totally right. It's just sometimes I feel like guys like Lamar and Josh Allen, people just expect them to do it all themselves and all the time.
That's right. And I love them both. I want it for all of them.
Totally.
Last one for you. I will ask it in break. I subscribe to the YouTube Chris Sims on the program. You can, of course, see him on Football Night in America at Super Bowl 60 on NBC. Subscribe to the Up and Adam Show. Subscribe to Chris's shows as well. I want to ask you about Drake. You mentioned the legs. Should they, why aren't we doing that more? You said it's the best part of the game. Shouldn't we build that in, bake it into the cake for Super Bowl 60?
I think that, I wouldn't be shocked if you see, again, they've been running that quarterback draw that we saw for the touchdown. That's been a play. They ran it last week for a touchdown, too. So that's part of it. Would I be shocked to see if you quarterback design runs in the Super Bowl? No. And then I think they know with the way they call the game, they're going to run some bootlegs and get him out there with the chance to run or throw in those. And he's got a great feel of playing in the pocket. And when the Red Sea parts, he can go get yards like we're showing right here with these highlights. He has a great feel for that. So, he's the franchise. They're not going to overdo it running with him. But yes, I think they'll keep you honest. And I would not be surprised to see them dabble in it a little bit in the Super Bowl to give them some type of advantage.
Patriots, Seahawks, Seattle, 4.5-point faves. Over under on the amount of times we're going to see that Malcolm Butler interception over the next 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we're going to see it once a day, I feel like. So, 20, I feel like about that. I'm going to be sick of seeing it when it all comes, comes to the time of the game.
On NBC as well.
NBC right now has a run of the Patriots going, right? Our last one was Rams-Bengals, but before that was Patriots-Eagles, and then before that was Patriots-Seahawks, and before that was Patriots-Giants. So if we have the Super Bowl, good chance we got the Patriots.
We have DeAndre Hopkins coming on the show right after this.
Legend.
Him to Buffalo? He's a free agent?
Oh,
should
whatever.
Should he stay in Baltimore? Is Todd staying? I don't think they used him enough. I think he needs. I want him to have a larger role What's ideal for him? I'm going to try to do a little matchmaking for my guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's an all-time great, right? He needs. I'm sure he wants to be somewhere where he knows they have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's going to be about that right situation,
Buffalo,
right? Where
he's hung out with Mahomes. He's hung out with Lamar.
Definitely, right. I mean, it could be any one of those teams. I think it looks at it like we know DeAndre, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. He's not the go-to number one guy anymore. But any team would love. Well, I love him, and we have a relationship, so he knows. I mean, he's my homie. But at the same time,
you're revving him up. I hope he's listening, and I hope he will come on and tell you.
I'm going to shut that idiot up. Right?
Don't tell me he's not the number one.
But I think he knows what he is at this point of his career.
A number one.
They're not going to formulate the offense
1,000
around
catches
him,
in.
He could be the next guy.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
Don't get him mad at me, okay?
There were several times, I'm going to text you, several times that you were giving Phil Simms yelling at a cloud in this one, and I love to see it. See ya. You're the best.
See ya.